So, what kind of jerk slash dickhead slash dummy would take exception to or have a problem with the Presidential Medal of Freedom? And the answer to that question is your boy here. And it's not that I have a problem with the actual medal itself or even the idea of it. I have a problem with some of the recipients of set medal. So that's what I wanted to talk about. Wanted to go through five things, Presidential Medal of Freedom edition, because they just came out, right? President Joe Biden, Joseph Robinette Biden, just hung that medal around a fresh crop of winners, recipients, honorees. That's the term I'm looking for. And there were a couple in there, a couple that I take great exception to, like shocked. One really shocking. The other just I take exception to. And I'll get to that in just a second. But to the point where I went and I read about it or I saw it on YouTube or something like that or Twitter or X, and I just couldn't believe it. So I had to go and cross-reference it across some other internet site and just I could it blew my mind. Literally chased my wife down, found her and where she was, and interrupted what she was doing. It's like, can you believe this? Can you believe this? And she probably didn't think it was as big a deal as I did and do. And maybe you'll have a similar response, but wanted to talk about that today. So we're going to talk about top five great ones. Then I'm going to talk about kind of the funniest example of these folks getting together and getting the award because if you are living and or able to be at this reception where they actually put the medal on you, where the president of the United States of America puts this medal on you, it's this big party kind of thing. I'm sure it's a wonderful thing, but all these preeminent human beings are all together in a room, and there was a go out through history, sort of a strange bedfellows. It's an interesting collection of folks, and it would have been fun to be a fly on the wall or to actually be there checking it out. So that's what I'm going to do. Um, and I probably already mentioned this, but then I'll do the bottom five recipients of the Presidential Medal of Freedom. But first, just a quick rundown of what it is. It is the Presidential Medal of Freedom is awarded by the President of the United States to any person recommended to the president for award of the medal or any person selected by the president upon his or her own initiative. Before 1970, honorees were either selected by the president or recommended to them by the Distinguished Civilian Service Awards Board. And typically, it's bestowed upon the recipient by the sitting president who has chosen them. However, the first recipient selected by President JFK before his assassination, they were formally awarded by Lyndon Johnson, Kennedy's successor. President Barack Obama gave out 118, the most by any president, followed by Bill Clinton with 89. Um, and let's see. 8 presidents have themselves received the medal either posthumously, post-presidency, or prior to being elected. And those are John F. Kennedy, Lyndon Johnson, Ronald Reagan, Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, George H.W. Bush, Bill Clinton, Joe Biden. And I think that is a nice overview of it. Well, this is interesting. At age 25, Simone Biles is the youngest person to receive the award. An interesting point of fact is that Bill Belichick, famous football coach of the New England Patriots, was offered the award. He initially had accepted it. He was offered it by Trump during Trump's first term, obviously. He initially accepted it, but then changed his mind and turned it down after the January 6th event. Country music star icon Dolly Parton turned down the medal twice from Donald Trump. So there you go. Interesting. All right. So let's start with top five. Top five recipients of this award. And I'm definitely, there's lots of room to quarrel with me on this one. Um, and because it's just so many miraculous human beings that have received this award, like literally hundreds of people that are extraordinary human beings and deserve all of the awards and recognition that society and humanity can bestow upon them. So I don't know that this is in any particular order necessarily. The first one is just one of my favorite human beings on planet Earth. And I'm actually I'm going to just personally lump three into one because Bruce Springsteen, Tiger Woods, and Michael Jordan are all recipients of Presidential Medal of Freedom. And I love the boss so much. He's my favorite artist. Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods are probably neck and neck, my two favorite athletes. So that is number five. For me, then number four, I am going to go with where is number four? Let's see. Number four. I am going to give it to Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers. And I just love Mr. Rogers. I think he's such a wonderful guy. And I'm 46 years old and grew up with Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood on television. So I take it back. I'm going to lump him into so the boss, Jordan, Tiger, and Mr. Rogers are going to share five and four. I know it doesn't make any sense, but that's just the way that it's going to go. Number three, Martin Luther King Jr. Whew, not too many people that have had such a profound impact on the world as MLK. Number two, Helen Keller. Holy cow. What a human being. Number one, Mother Teresa. So, some other amazing people that have received this award: Walt Disney, Jesse Owens, Jonas Salk, John Wayne, Jackie Robinson, Elie Wiesel, so just go ahead and call me a big dummy for saying that Tiger Woods and Mr. Rogers, Bruce Springsteen, Michael Jordan are more important than those other people. And they're not. They're just my favorite. So that's what I said. Said is my favorite top five. Funniest groupings. Let's think about the fact that there were some really hilarious people sharing this award. And in a lot of ways, it kind of made me think about when you have an actor or an actress that has been nominated for an Academy Award countless times, but for whatever reason, just never won the award. There's an opportunity to give somebody a Lifetime Achievement Award. And in some ways, I kind of feel like that's kind of what this is in a lot of ways, although that's probably pretty stupid. But during George W. Bush's reception, he had Nelson Mandela, Pope John Paul II, Muhammad Ali, to name three extraordinary people, and in that same reception, Dave Thomas, founder of Wendy's. So again, first, let's honor Nelson Mandela, one of the most important human beings that's ever walked the face of the earth. Next, let's honor frickin' Pope. Next, let's honor Muhammad Ali, one of the certainly best competitors ever, one of the best boxers ever, but one of the most important civil rights figures and just human beings ever. And then Dave Thomas, the dude that founded Wendy's. So, not to crap on Dave Thomas. Wendy's is no, I'm gonna crap on it. Wendy's is terrible. It's awful. Are they the Baconator? Is Wendy's the Baconator company? Square Burgers. Did you ever go to Wendy's back in the day when they had that atrium and they had like a salad bar and chili? So odd. Anyway, so there you go. But without further ado, let's talk about, let's get into why we're having this conversation in the first place. Because for the most part, this is just a pretty nice way to celebrate and to recognize amazing people that in the eyes of the President of the United States of America, the most powerful, important human being on earth, chose to say, I, as a representative, as the chief executive officer of the leader of the free world, the most powerful army the world has ever seen, as the commander in chief of that, and the leader of the greatest economic engine ever, the leader of the shining city on a hill, the leader of the free world, choose to honor these people. And so let's just get right into that. Ooh, my goodness. Number five. Number five. Dick Cheney. This one didn't age well. Did not age well from my perspective. Sure, Dick Cheney, I mean, yikes. Yikes. Darth Vader. Dick Cheney is Darth Vader. Do you know? And maybe this wasn't the case back then. I don't think that we maybe knew as much as we know. Obviously, we didn't know as much as we knew today. As much as we know today, we didn't know back then. And that's the way that history goes. Totally get it. And because it's my show, I'm going to rewrite it or just give my take on it. Did you know that Dick Cheney currently doesn't have a heartbeat? No, he doesn't have a pulse. That, that's what it is. Yeah, Google that. Does Dick Cheney have a pulse? No, no, he doesn't. So does that mean he's not alive? Maybe it technically does. Maybe he isn't alive, but he is. Hmm. Okay. Warmonger, awful person, destroyer of lives, of civilizations. I mean, that guy, my goodness, he went and destroyed entire civilizations and then just ripped checks, building them back. Pretty great, right? Hmm. Hey, we got Dick. Hope you can kind of help us with something here. We need some more work, Halliburton. We need a little bit more infrastructure work. How do you think we could drum up some new business? Can you be our business development guy? Yeah, here's what we'll do. We will go and flatten Iraq. Just flatten it. And then we'll get a no bid contract. Google that one too. No bid contracts to just rebuild the whole thing. Cool. Awesome. Let's go ahead and do that. So Dick Cheney's number five. Number four, speaking of things that didn't age well, Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby. You know Bill Cosby. Yeah, that guy. He got it. Let's see. Number three, number three. Who did I put down as number three? Oh, yeah. Anthony Fauci. Anthony Fauci's number three. And Anthony Fauci got that in 2008 for the work he did on HIV. Is that what we're thinking? Is that why we gave Anthony Fauci the Presidential Medal of Freedom? Yikes. Yikes. I don't know if there's a human being on planet Earth that triggers me more than Anthony Fauci. And I just knew it right away, too. I knew right away I didn't like him. And it was just because he lies. He's a liar. Like, what do you call somebody who tells lies? A liar. From social distancing to flatten the curve or stop the spread or just it's a long list. It's a long list. And I don't want to, I'm not trying to, I don't know what. Uh, COVID was a real terrible thing. No doubt. And I think it remains a really terrible thing. It's hurting a lot of people. And he misled us all over the place. Just wasn't truthful about things. So that's why Anthony Fauci is number three. But let's not bury the lead any longer. Let's not bury the lead any longer. Because just handed out a bunch of these medals. So number two goes to Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton. For a while there, she was the most flawed candidate ever to run for the presidency up until recent memory. Have you ever looked into the Clinton body count? Have you ever looked that up? Go ahead and Google that one too. But just talking about people who I do not think are honest. Hillary and Bill, oh my goodness. I mean, they made a TV show about them, right? That's who the Underwoods are based off of course. And, you know, I guess, I guess give credit where credit is due because if they're just the most shrewd political operators ever, the Clintons, I mean, it's a long list of things that I feel that they, it's amazing that these people are not behind bars in some form or fashion. So, but I'm sure that a lot of you are not going to feel the same way that I do about that one. Maybe, maybe you will share my frustration, rage about the final one. Number one, George Soros. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? We gave George Soros the Presidential Medal of Freedom? My gosh. How does that, in what world does that make any sense? It doesn't math, it doesn't pencil. It's crazy. Well, I guess I know one world that it does. So apparently in Joe Biden's world, it makes all sense in the world. And unfortunately, George wasn't able to be there to receive it in person. But his son was, Alex Soros. And thankfully, Alex is continuing the work of George Soros and everything that they're doing. Not sure who George Soros is? Well, I'd say I would describe him as an enemy to our way of life, enemy to Western values, an enemy to the rule of law, an enemy to the United States of America and our entire way of life. He is the antithesis of someone that we should be giving the Presidential Medal of Freedom to. George Soros is the opposite of those people that I read off. He is the opposite of Martin Luther King Jr. He is the opposite of Mother Teresa. He is the opposite of Elie Wiesel. He is the opposite of just all all of these people. He does not belong. It's an embarrassment. It is a disgrace. I cannot, I cannot say enough bad things about George Soros. And I cannot believe that this is a thing. It befuddles me. I'm not bemused by it at all. I am very, very, very kind of mad about it. So there you go. Five things. What do you think? I'm wrong about a lot, and I'm going to continue to be wrong about a lot. But I'm not wrong about Dick Cheney, Hillary Clinton, George Soros, and whoever else I read off. Bill Cosby, and of course, Anthony Fauci. I'm surprised they didn't give it to him again. Should give him a second one. But we may just find out that they're going to give him a pardon. Why would they pardon him? Why are they talking about pardoning Fauci? That's so weird, isn't it? Hmm. Oh well. But that's one of life's mysteries that I'm just not meant to understand. So I will continue screaming at the moon. What is the term that I'm searching for? Like I think you get it. Anyway, top five. Hmm. God, that really just it just grinds my gears. The George Soros thing. it's so offensive. It's so disappointing. It's so distasteful. It's all the disses. It's misinformation and malinformation, whatever that is. It's it's just a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. And it's more evidence that things are backwards and that we're living in the upside down world currently. So anyway, here's to better tomorrow. Thanks to all of those other people who have done such wonderful things to deserve the Presidential Medal Award of Freedom. And hopefully we can get a palate cleanser or something like that. I'm sure that we will. Hopefully Dolly Parton will accept or something like that. As always, do your part by doing your best.